Peace, love, and reparations. Welcome to Black Star TV 2.0. It's your boy Black Star, and we're going to get into this show right after this commercial. Let's get it, family.
Do you know that we owe Ukrainians reparations for building and defending this nation? Oh, my bad. I meant to say Black Americans. Notice how there was not one study, not one hearing needed before sending billions of dollars to Ukrainians nor any other group. Yet, when the topic of reparations for the descendants of American slaves is mentioned, we get told a motley of excuses. And I know some of you want to blame the Republicans, but it is for the Democrats that Black Americans vote 85 to 95%. And the Democrats have been complicit in their neglect of Black Americans as well. Maybe it's time we elect politicians that are actually going to fight for us. Maybe it's time we do something different, something better. Join me in getting us not just better, but the best. Join me in this fight. Thank you.
What's up, family? I'd like to welcome everybody. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, that like button, and that share button, as well as the notification bell to be notified when the videos come up. So, family, today I want to get into this ADOS thing and Yvette Carnell and the Democrats in general, right? I want to talk about all this because they did a video. She did a video with some lady, Karen Bush. I don't really know about her too much, but again, she's a Democratic shield like most of the rest of them. And again, they try to allow the people on the internet and Twitter and all of this stuff. They try to make FBA seem as though it's a organization when really ADOS is an organization. And that's American Descendants of Slaves for people who don't know. It's an organization that's ran by Yvette Carnell. She's the CEO of ADOS. That's not a lineage. That's an organization. Anybody can come in there and be part of the organization. And she has a bug in her ass about Tariq, right? Most of the Democrats do. Most of the people who aren't grassroots don't like Tariq. Almost everybody in the grassroots like Tariq because he puts in that work, right? So they always try to attach Tariq to FBA because they want FBA to be an organization, right? They want it to be an organization because as long as an organization, you can target the person who is at the top of that organization. You see? But FBA is a lineage. You are either FBA or you're not. You're either a descendant of the people who founded and built America or you're not. Like, there's no other way to go about that. So let's get into it. I want to show this video where Yvette Carnell was on Karen Bush's whatever podcast or whatever it was, but we're going to get into that. We're going to listen to what she's saying and how she is sounding like a straight up Democratic shill. So let me hit play real quick.
For us to have with this power structure that we shouldn't be beefing with each other, right? And so there are a lot of people that I don't.
Now watch this. She said we shouldn't be beefing with each other. She started it off with we shouldn't be beefing with each other, but watch how this goes.
I don't like how they move in the world. So I'll say some things because if it's not for us, then I'm against it, period. At the same time, I feel like that's our conversation that we should be having among ourselves. Like when I think about ADOS, foundationally, I like the mission, which is to fight for reparations. Somebody's got to do it. I think they're old. We got to do it. Who should get it? Now, what I don't like is maybe the disparaging of other people. I see that, but that may not even be your organization, but organizations like yours, like with the killing of Mr. Yarl.
She said organizations like yours. Now she's referring to FBA, and she's going to get more into that.
There was a person that is aligned with a foundational organization that said because his family's not from America, that somehow we shouldn't have, some exactly. You can't see Yvette's face, but she's like, what? Yes. There was a tweet about this young man, Ralph, y'all not being Black American, so therefore we shouldn't have the same. I'm like,
now, family, she's talking about Tariq, and she's saying that he said that the kid who was shot, we shouldn't or no, I think this is the kid with the bike. This is the kid with the bike. That we shouldn't galvanize behind him because he's immigrant. But see, this is what I'm saying. And shout out to Beatzilla, because Beatzilla actually broke this down already, and check his video out on this. But again, like he said, that's a misrepresentation of Tariq, because he never did that. And being as though we're on a platform where we could just, pull up stuff, you should have been able to pull up that tweet to be like, yo, look, this is exactly what he said. And he said we shouldn't be galvanizing behind this kid and his family because he's an immigrant. But what's really going on is that we don't want to get behind, I don't even care if you're FBA, if your peoples are going up there, raccooning, yeah, we not going to support that. We're not going to support you apologizing and forgiving the the person who did whatever to you, and then now all of a sudden we out here in the streets fighting for you, and you talk about you forgive them. You feel what I'm saying? And you dissipate all the energy of the movement. Like, no, we're not doing that anymore. We're not just galvanizing behind any old body in their family. You feel what I'm saying? To get them some justice, and then out of nowhere, you don't even care about justice. You just care about the money. So yes, we actually have to be very strategic in how we go about this now.
Racists don't care where we're from,
Well, here's the thing too. The foundational group that you're talking about, they hate me too. Right.
Oh, okay.
So we are not in alignment with them. Like we have always, whether you talk about Amadi Dualo, we have always, a Botham Jean, we have always in this country as ADOS come to the aid of other Black people who are being mistreated because of racism, because we know what it feels like. We've been here in the belly of the beast, so we know when they come for you what that feels like, what that looks like, and we know that we're the best at trying to combat it. We've been here, been doing this for a long time. So I don't agree with anybody who says that this person, this man, doesn't deserve justice. And I heard today that he might be out of the hospital. So
he never said he doesn't deserve justice. That's a straight up lie. And again, pull up the tweet where he said, or the audio of where he was speaking on it on his podcast or on his YouTube, of where he said that he doesn't deserve justice. See, these people have to, and Tariq already said this, that they have to try to tear him down anytime the election time comes, because he has, the ear of the people, right? The grassroots. I'm not saying he's not no leader of FBA or anything like that. He just he has the following, right? He has the biggest following in the grassroots. So a lot of people get behind what he's talking about, again, because it makes sense as well. Nobody's just galvanizing behind him because he's not making sense. Yeah, we want cash reparations, and all of y'all be talking about everything but cash, and or like you're about to get into, you start trying to involve other people.
Very happy about that. If that's true, I don't know if that report is true.
I've heard that too.
Yeah, so we are not those people. Like our aim in terms of reparation is specific, the same way, African countries, the same way CARICOM has a specific claim. Our claim is specific, and we would love to collaborate with those groups, but we don't act out and call.
Why would you want to collaborate with those groups when their shit is specific for them? What's the point of that? You see what I'm saying? Again, trying to muddy the waters.
A xenophobic way, and call out people who may not be ADOS because they're not ADOS, and say they don't deserve justice in this country because they're ADOS. That's not what we do.
And to your credit, as I've learned more about ADOS and the work that you do, and I applaud you. I think the work you've been doing is phenomenal. I think it's progressive, and I think it's leading. Karen and I were having a discussion earlier in the program about, and these are Karen's words, not mine, about a Black agenda. Mm-hmm. And in fact, ADOS has a Black agenda. So I'd love to hear from you on a topic we discussed earlier. We talked about how Black folk need to come to the table with a demand, with an agenda, with a program. Otherwise, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. So talk about your agenda and how you've helped to make that agenda real and empowering to people and give them direction in terms of how we can move and make progress.
Well, like you said, if you go to adosfoundation.org, we have a Black agenda. So I hate when people say it's just about reparations and there's so much more that has to happen. Yeah, it's over there, right? It's at that page. Because one of the things that we have to do, one of the things that bothered me so bad during the Obama administration, I remember Al Sharpton saying, well, you all tell me that President Barack Obama has to have a Black agenda. Well, I don't know what the Black agenda is. I don't know what it looks like. And so you have to be forward facing and say, okay, the next time this happens, I'm gonna have a Black agenda for you. I'm gonna have something that not only protects us against discrimination.
First of all, so many of our leaders have Black agendas. Dr. Claude Anderson had a Black agenda. Powernomics is a Black agenda. Louis Farrakhan had a Black agenda. Elijah Muhammad, Black agenda. Do for self. Get like-minded people around you and build your own. Like, come on, dog. Stop acting like we never had a Black agenda or nobody even that's what I'm saying. Even Powernomics has a political agenda in it, right?
It protects us in terms of property. If we have an agricultural, we have one for business, we have one for cannabis, we have one for everything, we have one for justice, mass incarceration, everything you could mention. And I think we do have to come to the table and say, listen, we can agree to disagree. You can have some additions to the Black agenda, but we have to have an agenda for all people. Like reparations is a specific justice claim for ADOS, but
all people. I told you, that's that Democratic talk. That's that Democratic talk. You starting to sound just like the rest of the Democrats that you claim you really against, right? Her and Tone was talking that down ballot Democrat bullshit. Like, you still putting the Democrat again. We can just go to the Democratic page, not just not a specific Democrat, but the Democratic page, and look at their agenda and what they're about. So regardless of whether you vote down ballot Democrat, regardless of what Democrat get in, they still have a Democratic agenda in general. So you're not going to get away from the Democrats, and they are trying to. We're going to, as the video go on, family, they're going to try to make it seem as though, again, we have to keep bringing all these other people in. This is not going to be the last time you hear we for all. That's, again, another Democratic.
The buy-in in terms of other people is like, listen, we have something here for you too. We don't want you to get caught up in the same things we get caught up. People always say, well, Barack Obama, what makes him not ADOS? He couldn't catch a cab either. Not being able to catch a cab is discrimination, right? We have something here for discrimination. That is a lived experience of Black people in this country. That's very different than coming from slavery and being owed for multi-generational plunder. So the reparations that we talk about is very specific for a specific group, but there is a Black agenda here that improves the quality of life for all Black people in America. And so we feel like we have something here in terms of our movement for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yvette Carnell is here, CEO of ADOS. Dr. Randall Pinkett is here as well.
CEO of ADOS. Y'all keep trying to turn FBA into a movement, but you can't find no organizational papers, no 501c3 on FBA. You can't. But you can find it on ADOS. Y'all keep trying to turn Tariq into this whole leader of the FBA. FBA is a lineage. It's just like Freedmen. Freedmen ain't no organization, is it? See what I'm saying? Freedmen is a lineage. That's a group of people who descended from the slaves who built America. Straight like that.
You get lumped in, and some folk that think that they're ADOS or they wear the colors of ADOS are very toxic in these spaces. And I know you've seen it. And to me, I'm like, how does this help? Right? I love having an agenda. I even like the mission, but how do we get there if we're not going to, acknowledge each other's humanity in the fact that we may disagree. I may not agree with you on everything, but we cannot be in this name. I mean, it's so bizarre to me. And I've been guilty of throwing you in with the other organization because I'm like, if it's not about progressing us, then it can't be, because I've seen some people wearing that banner acting that way. So it seemed like y'all are all the same. So I'm glad you're making the distinction. Thank you for that. Around voting. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, no. I just want to say, I'm actually, I actually feel blessed that other group exists, because one of the things that you have to do as a leader is just kind of set the environment. This is the tone, this is the movement. And if people want to be toxic, that other group gave them somewhere to go. If they didn't want to do real politics and get involved in real political work, and they just want to sit home.
Family, she talk about not get involved in real politics. She is crazy. We not getting involved in real politics?
I'm a Binya. Those who are from here know what that means. A person whose Gullah Geechee has always been here in the Low Country, and whose family, mother and father side, since the 1700s, has been right here in the Low Country. So it breaks my heart when I see how we are still losing our land. Sometimes we're either forced to sell it, sometimes it's outright stolen, or we can't afford the taxes. So explain why Congressman Clyburn wrote a bill to give the Catawba Native Americans, who used to enslave us, 20 acres of land so they can build a multi-million-dollar casino, but he has not written one single bill to help Black Americans get compensation for our stolen land. Let's do better, Black Americans. It's my Gullah Geechee folks, because we deserve better. I am Greg Marcel Dixon, and I approve this message.
How we don't have a political agenda.
Home and not do anything and not engage at all. That other group gave them somewhere to go that's not ADOS. So in a way, I'm kind of thankful that they got somewhere else to go and somewhere else to be, because I don't need you associated with me. I don't need that toxicity poured into the real work that we're trying to do. So I appreciate that to a certain extent, because yeah, go over there and do that. Don't stay here.
Okay. We had colorful on the show, colorful how am I getting this right? Story. Thank you, Smith. Colorful Story. I'm trying not to say her name. And she was like, okay, so how do we get these tangibles if we're not voting? So where do you stand on elections, voting, and the like? What's happening in 2024 with ADOS?
Well, we're launching ADOS in 2024 is launching a nationwide move, right? 2023, actually, we're launching this year, nationwide chapters across the country. So we believe in voting. We believe in the political process. People who have accused us of voter suppression just can't hit the nuance with us, in the sense of, we're not for voter suppression. We don't believe you walk away from the process, because then you leave it to right wingers, you leave it to white supremacy, you leave all of that to them. What we believe is in not voter suppression.
Listen to how she said you leave it to right wingers, you leave it to conservatives. Watch, because you're trying to make it seem like you're not just for the Democrats, but you're not for the conservatives or the Republicans either.
We believe in voter expression, meaning that we should be able to express our needs, right? And we should be able to improve our quality of life through our vote. In terms of the person or the people or the party that we vote for has to come back and say, you know what, I heard you, I'm gonna make that happen. Right? Or I'm gonna work on behalf of that when I get there. So we have a belief that voting is an exchange, it's not a gift. And we believe that what we've been doing for far too long is just gifting the party or the head of the party and not saying, okay, what are you gonna do? Let's talk specifically. So we'll just say, well, it's great that it's great that you ain't Trump. Yeah, that's great. I got you. But what about the stuff that we need to improve our quality of life? In some places, what they need is infrastructure. We all need reparations, and we're owed that. But in some other places, we got a mass incarceration and policing epidemic. And we have to get very specific about our local and regional goals. And then we have to have national goals as well, in terms of, what are you going to do at the Justice Department? What are you going to do about Black farmers at the Department of Agriculture? We have to have.
See, they always trying to get into all these other topics besides reparations. It's like she talk about reparations real quick, and then she try to get to all this other stuff. Oh, mass incarceration, housing, this, that, infrastructure. You keep trying to really get away from reparations. You don't want to make it seem like that's not, but for real, reparations is going to take care of all that shit you talking about. Because once you give up reparations, you were going to have a Freedmen's Bureau. So they're going to give them money for the infrastructure. Come on, dog, knock all that goofy ass shit off. All that old extra, that Democratic talk.
Have a grassroots and a top-down approach to this. So we have never said don't vote. We just said that we have to have some levels of accountability that make sure when we go to the voting booth, we get something in exchange for that vote. I've worked on Capitol Hill. I want us to be a part of the process. I'm not involved in voter suppression, and that's one of the things that happened with Mutale's article said they're engaged in voter suppression. We've never said that. I've never said don't vote. I have said that we have to become more engaged.
Don't vote.
We have to become more knowledgeable. That's why we have a book club, so that you can become more knowledgeable of what you need to do when you get involved in the process.
Okay, let's fast forward. I'm sorry, Randall. We have Yvette Carnell here, CEO of ADOS, and some people are like, "Oh, this is going to be..." No, I don't bring anyone on this show to excoriate, to dress in that. That's never.
She says she's trying to put up chapters all around the country, and I'm gonna show y'all exactly why she's trying to put up she's trying to put up these ADOS chapters all around the country. They're trying to get us to vote, and they need, because it's a wrap for them. Family, watch this shit. It's a wrap for them. It's a wrap for them.
I don't even know about politics. Personally, I'm proud to be American. Goddamn me, I'm proud to be in my country and shit. I know if I was the president, it should be a whole lot different on my mama. Like,
do you guys fuck with Trump or Biden or none of them?
I fuck with Trump.
You guys like Trump?
Even though the media was
more than Biden.
Even though the media was trying to do all that other shit, Trump was on some real shit.
I can vote. I vote for Trump.
Nigga, our gas was $3 with Trump. Nigga, now shit $6.
Now, shout out to Phil Scott. Yo, family. This is why they trying to get that shit off. Yo, nobody's messing with Biden. Not the niggas in the hood, not the little hood boogers in the hood, or the people in the grassroots. And this is because the grassroots got their ears to the street and they don't. This is why they have to demonize FBA and make us some type of organization so they can make Tariq the leader, so they can knock him off with some FBI charges or some CIA bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? That's why they trying to turn it into that, because he has so much influence, right? We all have the influence, but he has a lot. We have to give him his credit, right? He has a lot of influence. So they need him out the way, but he doesn't do anything wrong. So it's like, only way we got to discredit him, which is, again, a COINTELPRO tactic. That's a COINTELPRO tactic. Look at them shit. You can Google all the tactics of COINTELPRO. Discredit the people who are influencers. Absolutely. You have to discredit all of them, dog.
If it happens, is the person came in with the wrong energy trying to fight, that you can get all that smoke. This has never been my intent. My intent is to get us to freedom by any means necessary, and there are multiple different ways to do that. We fast forward. Trump is the nominee. Biden's the nominee. There's a binary choice. I know Marianne Williamson, and I saw one of the Kennedys running as well. What are you directing your folk to do when there are those choices?
Well, the first thing I'm directing, before I direct my people to do anything, I'm directing Biden to come to our conference. Come to us and talk to us about our needs. Don't tell us what you think our needs.
Biden ain't coming to talk to you. He not coming to. He didn't even go talk to Ice Cube. And what you going to talk to him and say that he don't already know?
Needs are. See, one of the things that happens even if you go to, I have done several shows about Biden when he says, I'm going to do this diversity and inclusion, et cetera, et cetera. And then when you start reading into it, it just says people of color, or it just says brown and black people, and it doesn't have enough specificity. What I want is not to just jump to, oh, we're going to do down ballot. I want to jump first to, why aren't you talking to me? Why aren't you talking to us about what needs to happen to and for us, as opposed to just getting a group of gatekeepers in a room? So the first thing I'm doing is say, bye.
Yo, you are a gatekeeper. You running with all the people that are gatekeepers. What are you talking about? None of these people mess with FBA. And that's how we know that who y'all are. Because majority of y'all, I'm going to say majority of 100% of y'all don't mess with us. So we know that y'all fronting. We know that you faking.
Biden, come to the ADOS conference. We want to talk to you about what our lives look like, what they look like in Mississippi, what they look like in New York, what they look like on the West Coast, what they look like in Detroit, and we want to get you on record to committing to our agenda. What he has said is, though, we're not gonna do nothing. Don't hold your breath on reparations, right? And then when the black leaders,
I showed you the video where he said, the Native Americans got to get it first, and he gave Native Americans some money. So he's not a man of his word.
NAACP and everybody else went there. He said, what? Well, y'all just got to get with the Latinos. No, I'm in the room with you. You get to tell me what you can do for me, and I get to tell you what I can do for you in terms of the vote. So the first thing I'm going to say is, I'm not going to jump to where we have the binary, right? I want to know why you're not getting in the room with us talking about what our agenda look like, talking about how to infuse resources in our community. That's the first thing that needs to happen before we get to the end of the road. We got to start right here.
So if that's what we say to Biden and to the elected official establishment, we were talking about this earlier, and I'd love to get your thoughts, Yvette. What do we say to the Black person who's saying the Democratic Party is not meeting my needs? I don't really feel the Republicans. What do you say to them? What do they do?
I think the first thing you say is, I understand why you feel that way. There's a great study which talks about how if Black voters support an issue, it doesn't go anywhere, and it's likely to go backward in the sense of white people or the people in that community are going to oppose that issue because Black people support it. On the other way, if white people and people of color support an issue, what's going to happen is that they're going to be able to move the needle. So what we're seeing is that we are a powerless group. There's no other group that is as powerless as us. We can believe in something, vote for it, and still not get it. That is us. So I'm going to say, I'm not going to call them lazy. I'm not going to do what Obama says and say, get Pookie off the sofa. What I'm going to say is, listen, I understand how you feel that way, but what you're looking at in terms of a lot of the people on the right wing is that they are necessarily just openly antagonistic.
That's because Pookie and them ain't lazy, and they showing you, nigga, that shit just, it don't affect them, dog. You not doing shit for nobody, and we feel that. We feel that. You think just because a person is just a regular Joe, he don't feel that. They see these videos of these fucking immigrants, these Spanish people coming over here. You don't know anything about them, and they getting $7,000 a month. That's almost $1,700 a week. $43 an hour for free, nigga. What you talking about? Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. You ain't gonna call nobody lazy or try to make it seem like it's any Black people's fault for their condition, dog. Knock it the hell off.
To what we believe in. Now, what we have on the left and the liberals a lot of times is benign neglect.
They're conditioned politically. I'm gonna say that.
They're not going to get on board because they feel like we're a captured vote, and they don't have to get on board. You don't have anywhere to go. You're not going to vote Republican because they racist or whatever. And so you're not going to come over here. You're not going to vote for them. So you're going to vote for us. So because of that, we don't have to do anything for you. So I'm going to say, listen, don't sit it out though. We have to get involved. The answer is not to just back away or just vote reflexively for the other party. Our goal, our movement is to influence the party that we are the base of to do what it is supposed to do for us.
They're not though. Like what, yo, family? She just talked a whole bunch of nothing. All you're doing is still trying to convince somebody to vote Democrat. You're still trying, yo, don't withhold it, but yo, we just gonna have a sit down and say, why you wanna do this? Are you gonna do that? No, you just want niggas to vote and get nothing for their vote. You're gonna sit down with him, he gonna promise it to you, then you're gonna say no. And then we're gonna be coming 2 years later to the same shit. Yo, this is the same repetitive rhetoric. The same repetitive rhetoric.
For us, you know, during Obama's first election, we turned red states blue, and we didn't get nothing for it, or not nearly enough for it. And so our job, our question,
Nothing.
our mission is, if we have a situation already where the majority of Black voters and ADOS voters vote for Democrats, we have to ask ourselves why we're not getting as much as we should get in exchange for our vote. And we have to become more active, not less active, when that is the reality that we're facing.
Nope.
You're saying lean in.
You gotta lean in,
I agree.
and you gotta lean in with specificity.
Amen.
Some of the biggest
You want us
misconceptions.
to lean in to a voting scenario that has never, ever, ever, ever helped us. Nigga, what is you talking about? We just did this shit 2 years ago and was telling y'all why we shouldn't be voting. We had the same shit. This is, our family, I swear, this is why they will never bring anybody from the grassroots, the new Black media, on their platforms, dog. Yo, I swear, I be on Facebook all the time, like, yo, retweet them tweets and share that Facebook post from 2 years ago, from the election and that in the jab. I want to, because we have to show that y'all was wrong the whole time, and now y'all trying to get us to do the same exact thing again 2 years later.
We're with Yvette Carnell, CEO of ADOS. Biggest misconceptions about your organization and your movement that you'd like to clear up?
We're xenophobic. We don't like, it's almost as if you can't have a position on immigration. We have said that, listen, we are on the bottom. So if you bring in other people who are also on the bottom because of their position, it displaces us, right? So we have to have a conversation about the displacement. And having that conversation, you can't even open the door and say, let's have this conversation without people saying, oh my God, you're xenophobic. You hate all immigrants. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, right? There's a conversation to be had, because the people who are benefiting and the people who are dropping bombs in other countries and creating a situation where they have to leave, where they have to run, are not us.
No. That is not why they are leaving. There are no bombs being dropped in Mexico for them niggas to be flooding us the way they flooding us, dog. You crazy as hell. You crazy as hell. This lady just said because of they being bombed, they coming over here. Yo, they not coming over here because of none of that other stuff. That shit is because you just have a wide open border and you have resources for them to get when they get here. That's why they're coming.
Those are imperialists. That's not us. So we have to have a conversation about imperialism as well. That doesn't make me xenophobic to say we got to have this conversation, because the people at the top, the wealthy people, are hiring nannies. They're hiring factory workers at very low wages, at poor conditions. And that is not to benefit us. So I think there's this belief that the immigration model that we have is there to benefit us, and is not. It's there to benefit super capitalists.
She's trying to say, watch this.
That's the first thing.
Watch
so
this.
That is a fact.
No. You're not going to say they bringing a lot of them immigrants over here because they want nannies. Nannies? She tried to slide in that little factory worker shit at the bottom. Man, that shit is straight because of factory labor and shit like that. Just labor in general. You crazy as hell talking about some nannies, nigga. Yo.
The first thing is that we're xenophobic, because we want to have a conversation that includes immigration. You can disagree. I don't have a problem with people disagreeing with me, but don't call me xenophobic because I have a view that may not align with yours. Let's have a conversation. So I think that's probably the biggest misconception. The other misconception is that we're only online, right? We're launching chapters, but even before we did that, we have always been outside. We're just going to be outside now in a very managed, a very methodical, and a very intentional way. But we are going to be outside. So I think those are probably the two biggest misconceptions about our movement and our organization. Initially, there was some, and that was even in the report that you mentioned about that we were Russian sponsored or something.
Right, Russian sponsored. Yeah, that you were backed by the.
You stomping for them Democrats, nigga. That's what you doing.
I don't even think I know a Russian. And nobody's ever been to provide, even people say, well, these people are right-wing sponsored. I need to see some proof, because everything that I get is small donations from people who either watch my YouTube show or just decide they want to give to the foundation. So there is no proof. The New York Times did an article about us, investigated, called everybody, looked into everything, and they said, listen, we can't find any proof that these people are sponsored by Russians or the right wing. And so
maybe they got confused with the other organization.
Even with them, I just think
that has a museum that is also a nightclub that has a former pimp as its.
Organization not funded by nobody, and neither is the Hidden History Museum. The Hidden History Museum actually was built off donations from the people. And he's not getting grants or any of that. So what are you talking about? How he funded? Man, these people are crazy. These people are crazy. But watch this, family, because she keeps trying to make it seem as though we are an organization, FBA.
I think that's just a basic kind of grift. I don't think that they're sponsored by anybody. I just think that they found a way.
We're not sponsored. FBA is not sponsored by nobody because it's a lineage. It's not a group. Yours is a group. Yours is a foundation. You are the CEO of ADOS, ADOS, the Advocacy Foundation. Look. This is you. This is your shit. Man, listen, these people crazy as hell. That's why I said they doing this and they trying to stomp hard because they know that it is over for the Democrats. Nobody. You can't convince none of us. You can't convince none of us that the Democrats is going to do something for us. You can't do it. No matter what you say, you can't convince us. And I just showed you the video of Ray and them. Shout out to them. You feel me? Now, I don't even know much about politics, but I know, nigga, it wasn't like this when Trump was in office. Come on, dog. Just the basis level shit they see. They see the stuff on a basis level. Now let's talk about the inner things that's going on that a lot of people don't see that they're doing, like giving all these other people money, but you're not giving it to our community under a Democratic ran administration.
To use the rhetoric of ADOS and lift those talking points to grift off of that, to kind of pour money into their pockets. The leader of that group. So I don't even think that they're sponsored.
First of all, y'all talk about us.
Sponsored necessarily. They could be. There have been allegations, but I don't think, even if they are, I don't think it's necessarily Russian. But I try not to make those allegations. The only thing I know is that somebody promised politics and they're delivering a hookah joint. So that would cause.
He never promised politics out of a Hidden History Museum. What are you talking about? All of this to try to discredit Tariq because he's saying no reparations, no vote. Because again, he's not down with any organization. He's not down with any political group. We willing to work with anybody who's giving out tangibles. See, you are a Democratic shield, so your whole thing is to deal with the Democrats. Nigga, fuck out of here. They both racist. And you notice how she, again, another Democratic strategy is try to push the racism on the Republicans. Because you heard her when she was talking about, if the kid asks, I don't like the Democrats because such and such, she was like, oh, well, I know you don't like the Democrats because they ain't doing nothing, and you don't really want to vote for the Republicans because they racist. And see, that's a Democratic talking point, and you're just a Democratic shield running under ADOS, talking about reparations. Come on, Yvette, we know the fucking finesse. Y'all nigga work for them people. And I'm on you and the boy, Nyhiem, whatever his name is. Word up. It's just a lot of funny shit going on, and a lot of people coming at FBA or the new black media because of the what we're pushing. No reparations, no vote. No reparations, no vote. Y'all mad at that. See, again, watch how she tried to talk about immigration and say, well, it's displacing us, but we have to have a conversation. No, we don't got to have no conversation. You have to stop immigration, nigga. See, she don't want to say stop immigration because the Democrats don't want to hear that. The Democrats don't want to hear that. So she's not gonna bring that up. Sorry, fam. I should have been took that shit off the screen. She don't want to hear that. You feel me? But again, family, just remember that this is going to go on all year during this little election season. And just remember, family, FBA is not an organization. It's not a group. You can go to FBA.com, but it's a website to buy stuff. It's not an organization where people are part of the group where you're making FBA chapters all around the country. No, that's not. Show me where the FBA organization headquarters is, or go to FBA advocates.com or whatever the fuck your shit called, ADOS advocacy. Like, come on, man. And this is another reason, like, watch, family, it's so easy to peep out what's going on and who's playing for the other team. It's so easy now. This ain't back in the day. Y'all can't hide that shit. The simple fact of what's going on with us, if you agree or align with any Democratic, Republican shit, you're more likely a coon. Let's just keep it a buck. If you're still trying to convince us to fuck with the Democrats, you are a coon at this point. If the street corner niggas and the hood kids can see that, this is why y'all losing. This is why BNC and Mark Lamont Shill and all of them. Oh, that was another thing. She was on Mark Lamont's she was on Mark Lamont Shill's show before too. You feel me? Hold up, family. Let me see this. There you go. See, you deal with all the shills. You deal with all the shills. This is why we can't rock with people. You starting to deal with all these little weird ass people. Listen, man. Let me show y'all something real quick. We're gonna get into this shit and why I shout out to Afro Elite. Afro Elite, I just want you to know, family, we got your back. I definitely got your back. I don't care who else don't or whatever. Listen, I got your back, family. On any level, I promise you. Just keep doing your thing. Keep being positive. Keep giving out that information and doing what you do on some real shit. And don't worry about none of these haters, man. What am I looking for? Right here. I'm gonna see if I can get to the regular post. Damn, I can't find that shit. I don't know. I can't find it. It is what it is. But it was, it was a little shit of the boy Nyhiem trying to get at he was trying to get at Afro Elite on some slick shit though. Like, hold on, I'm gonna try to find that shit because it was an audio to that, and I just gotta here we go, Afro Elite. All right, we here now. Hold on, family. See, look, he done put this joint with the with Nyhiem. That's Nyhiem right there. Cause y'all, I'm trying to tell you that shit was just crazy, and I always thought with some funny shit behind dude, just based off the reparations rally that that other dude tried to come up with on the fly, and he like went to that joint. I thought that was kind of weird. Here it go right here. Here it go right here, family. Yo, fam, why is this nigga Lord Abba backing this white man on some other shit? Yo, I'm telling you, family. Now watch this. When that FBA rally came the first time, I want to put my face on screen now. Oh, y'all didn't even fucking see that shit. You heard it though. Damn, I'm sorry about that, family. That was
this thing up like, look at this. It's, migrants get money. And I'm like, so I was just like, well, let's be honest about this. You can't just kind of quietly.
See him throwing the thumbs up. You see Lord Abbott throwing the thumbs up as the white man talking shit on our brother. So that's why I said, yo, man, listen, man. You can't trust these dudes out here, man. That's why I say we always gotta vet everybody. Because again, watch this. There's a lot of weird shit going on. It's a lot of weird shit going on. Even on my end, I'll be having people hitting me up out of nowhere all of a sudden. Yo, Afro Elite started really getting closer to Tariq, right? Now all of a sudden they coming out with shit on Afro Elite, trying to say he running with Delancey and all this other shit. See what I'm saying? They targeting Tariq. Now they coming and targeting our brother Afro Elite. Watch, family. This shit is deep. And then in the beginning, because I always had the bad feeling about this, when Tariq tried to do the what's that shit called? The reparations rally. He tried to do the reparations rally. I think they couldn't get the thing. And then some other dude got the license to do it. Boom. Or the permit, got the permit to do it. And then all of a sudden, Nyhiem or Lord Ab or whatever his name is, all of a sudden he rocking with dude and going out there. And I was like, yo, that's kind of some weird shit. But you was rocking all in the FBA spaces at the time. You was in all the FBA spaces heavy. Yo. And then got caught out there saying FBA. And now here we go with this. See, because the moment y'all start getting caught out there in the heat, because people was putting heat to your ass for that reparations rally shit, niggas started FBA and all this other shit. My nigga, it is what it is, nigga. It is what it is. We on all y'all niggas. All of y'all little shills and all of y'all little funny moving people, nigga, we on y'all. And I know where you came from, nigga, and it's another person that came from where you came from, the little shit that you first started off on, it's a nigga over there I got some funny feelings about too. Trust me, I done put people on him too, nigga. Cause y'all all starting to move funny all of a sudden. Trying to tell you. But family, I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna get up out of here because I don't want to, start getting too animated over that situation. But shout out to Afro Elite, brother. We got your back. You know what I mean? It's FBA all day. We ain't letting nobody throw no dirt on our brother's name. And again, he said in that tweet, as you can see, that he said he never worked for Delancey. And you know he not working for no goddamn body. That nigga's doing his thing. He rocking on that FBA stuff. He done had Dr. Winters. Go check Afro Elite page out and subscribe to him if you're not. Had Dr. Winters, Dr. Short, Dr. Randy Short. Come on, man. You rocking with Tariq. Bro, these people are some haters, dog. And they know that people are picking up steam. And they know the Democrats is over. So all the shills got to come out and discredit the movement. We up out of here, man. Peace, love, and reparations. I should end off with my brother Marcel. Make sure y'all donate to brother Marcel too, family.
Do you know that we owe Ukrainians reparations for building and defending this nation? Oh, my bad. I meant to say Black Americans. Notice how there was not one study, not one hearing needed before sending billions of dollars to Ukrainians, nor any other group. Yet, when the topic of reparations for the descendants of American slaves is mentioned, we get told a motley of excuses. And I know some of you want to blame the Republicans, but it is for the Democrats that Black Americans vote 85 to 95%. and the Democrats have been complicit in their neglect of Black Americans as well. Maybe it's time we elect politicians that are actually going to fight for us. Maybe it's time we do something different, something better. Join me in getting us not just better, but the best. Join me in this fight. Thank you.
Peace, love, and reparations.